over the course of the pandemic, a lot of people took to their own little gardens at home and doing some side projects, learning to grow some products from their own backyard for their home garden and their home nutrition, and also focused more on shopping local. And one local farm has popped up as well and is joining us now on the Oakland County MegaCast. OHagan Farms. We're joined by Erica Hagan, the co-owner of OHagan Farms on the Oakland County MegaCast. Erica, thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Great to have you with us. Tell us a little bit more about OHagan Farms. What happens over there?
We have been established here in Lapeer for over a decade, but we are serving all of the Thumb area in southeastern Michigan. And we started off with some livestock, and we were doing our own gardening, and kind of one thing spiraled into another. And I actually stumbled into microgreens kind of completely by accident, but now it seems to be something that is absolutely taking off like wildfire.
Yeah, it really is. Microgreens are taking off kind of like wildfire. I've been hearing that as kind of a buzzword in the gardening and the farming industry for a while now. Can you explain to us for those that aren't familiar like myself, what are microgreens?
Okay, so microgreens are the baby tiny version of the adult plants that we already eat, the adult fruits, vegetables, and herbs that we already consume in your diet. And because of the immaturity of the plant, it has all that nutrition that was jam-packed into a seed to grow the adult plant. So instead of having all of that nutrition spread out over the adult plant, and then you're just harvesting that vegetable, let's say carrots, you're harvesting that tiny little baby plant, the microplant, and it keeps 4 to 40 times more nutrition in that plant than you get in the adult vegetable. So not only are you getting something that produces relatively rapidly, you're not waiting an entire growing season for an adult vegetable to form, but you're also getting something that is highly nutritious and jam-packed with flavor. I think that's the part that surprises most people, just how flavorful microgreens really are.
And how long does it generally take to harvest a microgreen? Because you're not, like you said, you're not going through the entire harvesting period of one plant to another, getting that full plant. It is just, as you said, a smaller version, a baby version of that plant. So how long is that cycle?
Most plants can be available within 1 to 2 weeks. There are a few plants that like a little bit longer. They like a 3 to 4 week cycle, but there are some of them pop right out in 5 to 6 days. You can have something that is highly nutritious, and then you can have something, again, highly nutritious. And again, you're not waiting that entire growing season just to see the fruits of your labor or to feed your family something that is incredibly healthy.
So we're joined by Erica Hagan. She is the co-owner of OHagan Farms. The other co-owner is her husband, Dave Hagan. But the name of your business is OHagan Farms. Why OHagan?
Well, that's a good question, because most people realize that when I say my last name is Hagan, it doesn't have the O in the front. Dave and I both have Irish ancestors in our heritage that immigrated over to America. And at some point along the way, they decided to drop that O to be a little bit more, Americanized, especially when Irish immigrants were being highly discriminated against. And we thought it would be really fun to bring back that heritage, that Irish heritage, and put the O back into the farm name. And it helps people too. You kind of, you hear OHagan, you get that Irish, you get that green, and you realize, hey, they're growing lots of green things over there. And so that's how we settled on kind of honoring our heritage and having a really fun time with naming our family farm, because it's kind of a big deal to name your farm. You want it to be something that you're going to pass down from generation to generation after you, right?
Yeah, so transitioning a little bit from on the farm, I hear you coach gymnastics.
Yeah, shout out to GOP Gymnastics in Ortonville. It is actually one of the things that inspired the microgreens to happen, is that I've coached gymnastics here for over 2 decades, and they're also a local family-owned business that has been around forever. I don't want to get into how old I am, but and I was looking at, we have snack time, and I was looking for some way to get something really nutritious into the hands of these gymnasts while they're having their snack time and they're working out really hard. And I thought, wow, I'm going to have produce boxes once my garden matures. And then I got into the microgreens, seeing how fast that they produce. So now I've actually brought them into gymnastics, and the girls love them. Like, actually, most parents are extremely surprised. Kids that don't eat vegetables eat microgreens. Kids that like to eat vegetables also eat microgreens. So it's kind of a win-win. I'm providing this extra nutritional benefit to these gymnasts, and I'm also getting the word out there for everybody to know that there is something they can add to their diet that is a win-win for everybody.
Erica Hagan joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast. She is the co-owner of OHagan Farms, OHagan Acres. My apologies. I realize I've been calling it OHagan Farms. It's OHagan Acres. What am I doing?
It's a farm.
It is, but I don't get the name right. It's right there on my paper. I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay. I'm a professional. Erica Hagan from OHagan Acres joining us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. Now, Erica, of course, you have an 8 to 5 during the week. We just mentioned it. You're working at GLB Gymnastics up there in Ortonville, you said. And so you're doing this on the side. That's like, I would think that's a pretty big undertaking, no pun intended, with, of course, you doing microgreens.
Yeah, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? And if you're waiting for the perfect time, there's never a perfect time. And I've always had a passion for being here at GOB and teaching these girls and trying to get back to the community in any way that I can. And this just adds the value to that. It adds the value to my farm and getting that fresh produce out, and then I can get it out to everybody. I mean, I honestly can't think of a single person that has tried microgreens that doesn't like them, that doesn't find them nutritious, and it really complements everything else we have going on our farm with our other livestock, our farm fresh eggs, and the other produce that we have seasonally available.
So you talk about some of those products, because it's not just the microgreens. Of course, that's the main focus that we've been talking on today, and that we wanted to get the audience informed about from OHagan Acres. But you also have other products as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Sure. So we are lucky enough to have the acreage we have chickens, we have cows, we actually have Highland cows, which are, they're hairy and they have horns. So a lot of people see them and think like, oh my gosh, those people have yaks. And we also have horses out at our farm, and we're looking to add in some newbies, as things keep on rolling. We're going to get some sheep, we're going to get some goats going. And we're also looking at maybe adding a donkey or two, because I mean, who can resist a donkey, right? But yeah, we raise some animals for meat as well, because again, on the healthy side of things, we want our pasture raised, antibiotic free, hormone free, grass fed pigs, chickens, and cows, and that helps us stay healthy as well. But they're all our pets too. So when you look at the OHagan Acres farm website, we have pictures of like our cows. We have Norman and Taffy, and everybody asks, is Norman off of the calf from City Slickers? And he sure is. And then we have names for our chickens. We've got Purple Pants and Flappy Face. You can tell I have young children at home. We have the Brahma Mama chicken. She's one of the favorites. And so we really just try to have, honestly, the happiest farm with the happiest animals. And then we bring all that out into the world, and we try to share it with everybody.
Erica, let me just review this list here, okay? Now, let me just go right back down this one here. I'm just flapping from the microphone for those in radio land. She has 2 horses, a pony, 2 cows, 3 cats, 20 hens, 6 ducks, and are looking to expand to get goats, sheep, and maybe a donkey or 2. On top of that, of course, it's you, it's your husband Dave, and it's your 2 children, Austin and Colton. How do you? And then you have your 8 to 5 during the week as well. How are you managing all this? How? Are there 2 of you?
Yep. There's the clone of me. They're in the closet. They're coming out for the next interview. No, again, when you're passionate about something and you're excited, you find the time. You find it's just so filled with love and energy. I love teaching my kids about enjoying the farm and how it can be helpful to the community, and also how it can be sustainable for them and possibly their future income as well. So I just think it's too important to keep it to myself and just to let it sit there. So when you're excited and you love to do things, you absolutely find the time to do them, and then it's even better when you can share it with other people, right?
Yeah. So what did inspire that passion in this for you, and then to not only just have the passion for it and take an interest in it, but then expand that out to do a full-on business?
Well, I grew up on a farm. My parents, we've always had horses on our farm. We've been out in the country. And I really think, again, to kind of shout out GOB Gymnastics, the owners there, they've always been an all-inclusive gymnastics facility. And I think I took a lot of inspiration from them on how to give back to the community, be inclusive of everybody in the community, how to really pull everything together. And I've always had a natural drive. I like helping people. I like watching people thrive and succeed, and it just all kind of come together in this perfect storm. And we've been talking for years, Dave and I have been talking for years on how we can, maybe do something with our farm. And like, I grow a lot of produce every year and it gets fed to our animals as well, but I have extra. What are you going to do with that? Do you throw it away? Do you let it go to compost? Well, you can get it to people. And then stumbling upon the microgreens and figuring out that people don't know what they are and people need to know what they are. They're so good for them. That I just decided that I got to jump in. I got to jump in and get this out to people, and that way I can help everybody, right?
Erica Hagan joins us on the Oakland County Megacast. She's the co-owner of OHagan Acres with us on the program today. And Erica, if people are looking to get some microgreens, learn more about these products, interact with you and with other local farmers as well, what are some of the places they may be able to find OHagan Acres products?
Okay, well, they're always welcome to come to our website, which is www.ohaganacres.com. They can find our email address and our contact information on there. We also are going to local venues, trying to get down to the area. We've been to Busy Buzz Artisan Market down in Rochester for a pop-up this past weekend. It was super successful, and we're going to go back again next month and have another pop-up, and if it's really popular, we're going to be there regularly. And they can also, hit us up at GOB Gymnastics. We do a drop-off there for local people that are in the community. So we drop off in Lapeer, Ortonville, and we do also drop off in Clarkston right now regularly. So they can get a hold of us through our website, place their orders, get on our list, and we'll absolutely get microgreens out into the community for them.
Just another couple minutes with you here, Erica. Erica Hagan from OHagan Acres with us on the Oakland County Megacast. Anything else that would be important for our audience to know, or interesting for our audience to know about your business, about microgreens, or anything else you'd like to discuss today?
Well, microgreens are not only just that fancy little garnish that you get on a steak at a restaurant anymore. They should absolutely be a staple in your diet. They come in all sorts of flavors, colors, nutritional value. You can put them in smoothies. They can be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We have ideas on our website. We have a little recipe booklet we hand out at all of our pop-up events. And everybody absolutely just needs to get involved and teach your kids about the outdoors. Teach your kids where your food comes from. Know where your food comes from. Know what's in your food. It's so important to be able to know that the food that we grow, it comes from somewhere, and where is it grown and how is it grown, and it makes a difference when it's locally grown with love, which is what our motto is, locally grown with love. That's where everybody should get their food from.
Locally grown with love, OHagan Acres. Erica Hagan joining us on the Oakland County Megacast. Thank you very much for being with us on today's show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.